survey says. As if Los Angeles officials don't have enough on their plates, they have yet another problem. Homeless copycat arsonists. I mean, we know that Los Angeles has a massive homeless problem. Some of the worst homelessness in all of the United States, in all of the world. So they've already got the example of the wildfires going. What would prevent these people whacked out of their mind on drugs who love fire anyway from setting some more fires? Nothing. And that's what folks aren't really talking about. They're talking about arsonists, yes. But so often, these are homeless people out of their minds causing fires. And could they possibly be the reason for so many of these fires? It's not outside the realm of possibility, but let's get into it. Here we go. This would be the most prominent example. Some of you may have already seen this, but let's watch it again for those of you who haven't. Homeless dude with a blowtorch lighting old Christmas trees on fire across the street. Neighbors band together. This guy is, he's on a TV show of sorts. He's an actor. Take the bastard down. He's got a blowtorch. I mean, and then the police came and they basically arrested him. What else have we got here? Now let's go with this one. This is a good one as well.
Actually been a number of instances like this. Pretty incredible to think about. Thankfully, though, in this case, firefighters were ready to be in place. They jumped into action and they were able to stop those flames before they caused any major damage. But people living in this area certainly on edge tonight.
This is an unusual spot for a fire.
Firefighters jumped into action as a wildfire group in Griffith Park, aggressively hitting flames from the air and ground. It started around
Griffin Park being to the north, slightly north and east of the Hollywood sign, okay? Kind of that direction.
1 p.m. south of the Griffith Observatory, where someone reported seeing a transient man lighting a blaze.
Oh, hey!
While firefighters battled the flames, police tracked down the suspect and arrested him on suspicion of arson. Since the deadly Palisades and Eaton fires broke out on January 7th, dozens have been arrested for trying to take advantage of the disaster, and at least 20 have now been charged with crimes like felony arson, looting, and impersonation of a firefighter. On Sunday, authorities announced that 2 fake firefighters from Oregon were caught in the Pacific Palisades in an actual fire truck.
We're going to talk about that one a little bit more in depth, so remember that. You got a fake fire truck with convicted arsonists. I'm not saying that these folks are homeless, but, you know.
A convicted arsonist.
This individual have purchased the vehicle through an auction, and they have been in the area for about a couple of days.
LA County District Attorney Nathan Hochman has vowed to go after anyone who takes advantage of victims. To anyone who believes they can use this disaster as a cover for criminal activity, let this be your warning. You will be caught and you will be held accountable.
And by accountable, they mean a misdemeanor and probably probation and no real accountability, because you got to remember, this is Los Angeles. This is California. We do not hold criminals accountable for their actions, including whacked out of their mind homeless people on drugs with blowtorches lighting old Christmas trees on fire while a massive wildfire rages in the background. Yeah.
The citizens of this county deserve safety and justice, especially in the wake of such unprecedented devastation, and I will not rest until we achieve both. Angelinos certainly hope that's the case.
I feel like we're already trying to come together as a community to take care of people who have lost their homes. And so it's just very disappointing to hear that amidst all of that positivity, there are people who are willing to go out of their way to actively make somebody's day or life worse.
They must be really desperate to do something like that.
No, they're not desperate. They're nuts. And your taxpayers' dollars are going to subsidize their lifestyle of doing drugs and being homeless. Because that's a thing. So this is one of those policies that comes full circle, but nobody wants to talk about it. Oh, is that a homeless dude that lit that fire? Is that a homeless? Oh, good Lord. That's the optics on that are just, that's going to be tough to work around. Now, this is what's going on. And then looters? Let the looting begin. I mean, you knew that was a given. This is Los Angeles, where people in the middle of the day break into jewelry stores and just take whatever they want, knowing the soft on crime policies. Number one, odds are they probably won't get caught. And number two, if they do, soft on crime, Los Angeles, nothing's going to happen to him. You get a slap on the wrist. Do better next time, Junior. Get out there and start some looting again. I mean, why would this be any different when a wildfire comes through and a bunch of homes are left open? It's not. Let's keep going.
Must be. Now, the man who was arrested for allegedly starting today's fire was at least the 9th person arrested for arson since these deadly fires began. It's hard to know what these people are thinking. Marla and Christine.
I'll tell you what they're thinking. They're thinking like Beavis and Butthead. Fire, fire, fire. That's what they're thinking. As devastating wildfires have destroyed huge swaths of LA, got at least 27 people dead. Fire and law enforcement authorities have also had to contend with multiple cases of arson. Authorities have arrested at least 8 people accused of setting new, small fires in the days since the larger fires erupted, including suspects setting trees, bushes, leaves, and trash ablaze. Why would this be a major shocker? To me, it would be like, well, this is normal every day in Los Angeles. It's just that now with the backdrop of, hey, you've got thousands of acres literally on fire. Maybe you don't want to do that. With the misguided compassion and all the policies that have allowed homelessness to just go unabated, it's coming back to them in this format. Hey, homeless nut job is lighting some stuff on fire. Shocker, right? In the evening of January 14th, a woman was arrested after allegedly setting multiple pieces of rubbish and trash on fire. Jim McConnell, chief of LA department, said in a news conference last week, when the woman was arrested, she admitted to setting fires and said she enjoyed causing chaos and destruction, according to McDonald. She enjoyed causing chaos and destruction. Does that sound like somebody who's contributing member of society that's really looking to get things going and make life better for everybody? No. This person they got something. They got a screw loose. They're on a bunch of drugs, probably a combination of the two. Another suspect arrested earlier in the same day after allegedly setting a fire in a tree admitted to starting the fire because he liked the smell of burning leaves. He liked the smell of burning leaves. Personally, I like the smell of napalm in the morning. Someday, this war is going to be over, son. There are people out there who this is what they do, said McDonald. If you know of those people, please give us a call before something really bad happens. Okay, they're called homeless, and they walk around with lighters to light their drugs into vapor and then smoke them. Go after those people. Oh, that's a lot of them. Good Lord. Another suspect was arrested January 12th for an outstanding felony warrant for arson by North Hollywood officers after using a barbecue lighter to light fires. Barbecue lighters, those are good. I think he's talking about one of those long-handled ones. I enjoy those as well because every now and then you just can't get your automatic ignition, your push-button ignition to go on your barbecue, and you got to reach your hand in there and that number happens. But with those long barbecue lighters, you just stay out of harm's way and maybe just singes a little bit of your hair on your arms. The string of arrests comes as authorities continue to investigate the causes of the larger wildfires. Yeah, they don't really know. But initially, one of the theories was, lots of homeless around. Maybe they lit some of these fires. Maybe it was a fire that came from New Year's Eve and the embers just caught going. And, maybe it was hikers, all these kind of theories. Combing the wreckage for clues, authorities have not shared any specific information to suggest any individuals arrested for arson caused major fires. Again, this is not a stretch that this is happening, is it? No, it's not. About 95% of fires in California are caused by humans. Whether through an intentional act of arson, a downed power line, or backyard barbecue party or fireworks celebration gone awry. Total of 109 arson arrests were made in 2024, according to stats from CAL FIRE. The incidents caused major problems. Arson caused wildfires burned around 44,000 acres in 2020. Arson caused wildfires burned around 44,000 acres. And how many of those were from the homeless community, whacked out of their mind on drugs, not giving a damn about what happens to the general population, paying their bills? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's not good. Better ignore that because you got really no explanation there. It's not unusual to see other crimes like arson in the aftermath of natural disaster. They think it's a perfect time to do it because everybody's tied up in the major fire scenes. There won't be any police. There won't be any firefighters or any security. I hope no firebugs are reading this. All right, tell me more. So when should I light a fire? Oh, when other fires are going. People who set fires in the aftermath of a massive wildfire may be more attention-seeking than trying to cause harm. Either way, it doesn't matter. They are lighting fires in an area that already has fires, and with strong winds, carry those embers up to 2 miles. Doesn't take much, does it? Doesn't take much. Doesn't take much to get from, I can see how that would happen. It's just, this is a no-brainer. There's also a strong mental health component. This is CNN, folks. This is CNN actually calling this out. Now, granted, this is what, 3/4 of the way through my article, halfway through my article, kind of buried down. All right, let's get back to where it was. Also, a strong mental health component playing into many arson cases, he said. A person who commits arson might be a marginal person, a person who's on the edge of society, who feels unconnected to society in some way, Weinberg said. Maybe they're homeless. You think? Maybe they've got persistent mental health problems. Homelessness, mental health care, addiction. That's what you're dealing with. But we don't want to come right out and say that because, well, then we're blaming the homeless population who can't help it. But we've enabled them to be on the streets of LA, streets of Seattle, doesn't matter where it is, big blue democratic cities. They just foster these environments by handing out all the free stuff you need to make a go of it as a homeless person in these big cities. And that turns into this. Well, now you got some firebugs running around. So maybe they've got persistent mental health problems. They don't feel connected to the rest of society. There's a lot of people who don't feel connected to the rest of society, and they don't necessarily start things on fire. But meth is a great example. People love fire that are all hopped up on meth. They love lighting stuff on fire. They love big fires. It's just one of those things where, this is great. I'm going to just keep feeding this fire. We'll see what happens. Best time ever. You hear continuously about big blazes in homeless encampments over and over and over again. Remember that fire on whatever interstate it was just going into downtown LA a couple of years ago? Shut down the interstate? That was homeless people lighting some, wood pallets underneath the freeway on fire. So, stretch 2025, January, got a little wind going. Somebody with the blowtorch is already known to be out there. Duvall said arson may stem from a variety of motivations, including mental health challenges, anger, revenge, trying to make a statement, mischief, and blowing off steam. Hey, what are you going to do today? You going to go to the gym? Nah, you know what I think I'll do? I think I'm just going to walk across the street to that park and maybe light that big bush on fire. We'll just see what's going on. I don't really know. I just need to kind of blow off some steam, maybe have a beer or two, do a little doobie. I don't know. But, lighting that bush on fire, that seems like a really genius idea. Whoa, fire got out of control. Oh, this isn't good. It's an unfortunate reality nowadays when there's fires like this, the fire investigator said. There's always going to be in the days following some sort of disturbance or some sort of distraction, whether it's looting or arson. Yeah, It's nuts. But you know what? Disturbing LA case of homeless man with blowtorch sparks fresh debate over city's out of control vagrant crisis. I think another one of these arsonists was somebody from Mexico, an illegal from Mexico. Is this a shocker in any way? No, it's not. It's just not, right? I mean, the damage from these fires just absolutely insane. And if a homeless person did set some of these original fires, do you think we'll ever hear about that? Probably not. How about this story? Let's run into this story here. 2 people busted for using a fire truck they bought at auction to impersonate firefighters in Pacific Palisades, and one of them was a convicted arsonist. So they bought a fire truck at an auction. They literally bought it, and then they drove it to LA. It's from Oregon, we believe. And then one of their compadres is possibly an eco-terrorist. Los Angeles wildfires rekindle eco-terrorist arson suspect from The Family. Do you remember The Family? They caused like $45 or $50 million in damages, whole bunch of fires like 20 years ago. So we got an eco-terrorist arson suspect manhunt after fake firefighters arrested. So there is some connection there. Yeah, so check this out. The FBI has rekindled a decades-long manhunt for a serial arson suspect accused of operating a domestic eco-terror cell that lit off more than a half dozen fires in the 1990s and early 2000s. Shortly after, LA authorities announced the arrest of a pair of fake firefighters from Oregon, one of whom has a criminal history of arson. They think it's somehow connected. Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department told Fox News Digital Sunday that Dustin Neal, 31, and Jennifer Neal, 44, were arrested after allegedly impersonating firefighters and driving into a restricted zone in a fake fire truck from a fake department. The FBI is offering $50,000 for information leading to the arrest of Josephine Sunshine Overraker, a suspected domestic terrorist accused of setting arson fires to spread an animal rights message alongside a group of fellow radicals. She, too, has been accused of posing as a firefighter. So there must have been enough similarities where they just basically told the FBI, hey, let's get that bad boy going. Let's get that alert out for that person. Overacre was indicted 24 years ago Sunday on charges including arson, destruction of energy facility, domestic terrorism. Her exact age is unknown, but she's believed to have been born between October of 71 and November 74. Incidents she is alleged to have been involved with were linked to extreme groups known as the Earth Liberation Front. I vaguely remember some of this, right? Vaguely remember some of this. The Earth Liberation Front and the Animal Liberation Front. The alleged attacks took place in Oregon, Washington, California, Colorado, and Wyoming beginning in 96. Several hours after LA authorities announced the couple's arrest, the FBI's most wanted account on X reposted a flyer seeking information on Overacre, a longtime fugitive. Here she is. All right. She's got a big old bird on her right shoulder. It's got, just some massive wings. It's like a dark green. She's got a lot of hair on her upper lip. That is literally one of those known deals where, all right, what distinguishing marks does this individual have? See if I can find the FBI. Here we go. Here we go. I mean, you guys want to know this, right? This is good stuff here. Here we go. FBI.
An up to $50,000 reward is available for information leading to the arrest of this woman, alleged domestic terrorist Josephine Sunshine Overacre. I'm Molly Halpern of the Bureau with Wanted by the FBI. This is an age-progressed image of what Josephine Overacre would look like these days. Overacre is wanted for arson and other crimes she committed dating back to 1996 when she was a member of an eco-terrorism cell known as The Family. The cell acted in the name of extremist groups including the Animal Liberation Front and the Earth Liberation Front. Special Agent Timothy Suttles.
She was one of the main people to shoplift equipment and devices that they used in these arsons.
The crime spanned 5 states: Oregon, Washington, California, Colorado, and Wyoming. Here is a look at one of their crimes in Colorado at the Vail Ski Resort, which remains the largest eco-related arson in history.
Josephine Overacre, in committing these crimes, put first responders' lives in danger, as well as causing over $45 million in damages.
And the reason I bring this up, the homeless, drug-addicted, mental psychopaths are doing the same thing. You either need to get them into treatment, get them into jail, get them into a psychiatric ward. You got to do something, because this is literally the end result. They're lighting a bunch of fires.
Josephine Overacre, who is fluent in Spanish, may be living overseas in Spain. Investigators say she left the United States shortly after Operation Backfire, an FBI-led national takedown 10 years ago this month that resulted in the arrest of some of her co-conspirators. Overacre may be using an alias such as...
She used Lisa Quintana, China, Joe, and Osha.
Check out one of Josephine Overacre's tattoos.
A very large bird tattoo that starts on her right shoulder and stretches across her shoulder blades. The color of this tattoo is a dark green, almost black, a lot of feathers.
Overacre has facial hair on her upper lip. She is vegan. The alleged arsonist has worked as a firefighter, a midwife, a sheep tender, and a masseuse. If you have information about this case, report tips to your local FBI office or the nearest American.
Super interesting that those cases are basically simultaneously, hey, we got some arson going on down here in LA, but let's resume the search for Overacre. You know what I mean? It's just, it's mind blowing, because you've just got a bunch of lunatics out there lighting up fires. And yet we're supposed to be shocked. I am shocked that anybody would do this, given the circumstances, given the amount of damage that is going on. Isn't this about what you'd expect? I talked at the beginning of all these fires happening. Let the looting begin, because it happens in LA, happens in San Francisco, happens in all these communities on the daily anyway. You had Proposition 47. Anything under $950 is a misdemeanor. Don't worry about it. We'll just give you a little parking ticket. You'll be on your way and you just never pay those, and it's all good, because there's no accountability for anybody's actions. So we've gone from homeless arsonists to professional arsonists from the family. We don't really know what the deal is on this story here, but it is somehow connected to that other story we just looked at with the FBI fugitive. But I mean, there's the Roaring River Fire, right? That is a fictional firefighting outfit. Does not exist. And when these two were arrested, they had on LA fire gear, is my understanding. So they basically somebody looked at their ID and said, this doesn't make a lot of sense. Went back, checked some more, and realized that these people were not who they said they were. There is what the kind of outfits they were wearing. They even had fake walkie-talkies, fake communication. We're going to look like real firefighters here. Instead, we're going to go in, and who knows what they were going to do. They're not convicted, or they're not alleged to have set any fires. They're just caught in an area where they shouldn't have been, and it doesn't look good. Meanwhile, FBI, looking for that other chick. Maybe they're trying to get some help in Spain. We just don't know. Arson attempts have cropped up around LA County as emergency responders continue to try to douse the flames. Authorities have repeatedly promised that anyone trying to make the already tragic situation even worse, including arsonists and looters, will face the full extent of the law. That is the problem. That's the problem. There is no facing the full extent of the law in California. It is a justice reform state. This is progressive politics in action. Where does that get you? Not putting the bad guy in jail. If you do, it's not for very long. Boop, out they come, ready to, light the next fire. do whatever it is, rob from the next door. That's why you've got criminals running around just carte blanche doing whatever the F they want. Not that hard to figure out, right? But the outrage is what gets me. I can't believe this is happening. Really? Because the rest of us are like, sounds about right. I mean, why wouldn't they do this? Why wouldn't the crazy homeless on drugs light fires? Yeah, good question. Well, they're going to take a little breather. They're going to take a little break. Wild stuff, right? All right. That's it for me. Thanks so much for being here. Catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.